hello. Happy joint Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday. Yes, I'm
Heather, you
aware.
got a little.
You just had to beat me to it,
Yep, yep, I did,
didn't
I
you?
did.
He
Sorry.
he had to beat me to it because he
Should
knew
have told
well.
me in advance because I can't see. I couldn't see it before, and they're like, "I'm gonna make this announcement." I'm like, "Well, now I got it. Bring it up." So,
Now you gotta. Now you gotta. Anyway, yes, happy Valentine's Day,
yeah.
everyone. Thanks for spending your evening with us.
We spent it with the Lord. Well, she did. I saw Madam Web, which is holier than thou in so many respects. It is quite a spiritual experience, if you will. You just never think something can be that bad, and then the spiritual thing happens and says, "Oh, it gives you such joy, such joy." Anyway, that's neither here or there.
I love it. I love that for you. Thank you so much, Chad. I see we just hit level 4 of this hype train. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Y'all are amazing. So we're going to go over the rules so that we can get to your amazing questions. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages since that is some real world money spent towards the end of stream. We might have time for highlighted questions, but highlighting a question does not guarantee that we are going to see it or answer it. If you're going to highlight a question, please save it for the end of stream. If you do it now, I'm literally not going to be able to scroll up and see it just because of the way the live chat works. So just hold on and wait and be patient. We'll get there. Please don't repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. We do get behind on the bit messages, so there is not a need to repeat the bit message either. You're not going to get in trouble with that. We just feel bad if you've spent 300 bits asking the same question 3 times. Uh-oh. We've lost Doug. There he is. He's back.
I love it. On my end, I froze. Oh, okay, good. It looks like I'm just like on my end. I froze at me like rubbing my nose. I'm like, like that. So that's a better image freeze on. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, I was in the middle of you don't need to repeat your bit messages. We just get behind it. It's very, very rare that we actually miss one. So just be patient. We will get to it. Sometimes we can get up to like an hour or more behind. So just have some patience. Please watch the length of your questions. I'm already seeing some that are really long. The shorter and more to the point, the better. Otherwise, we read it fast. You don't have time to repeat it, and it just is what it is. Also, that pertains to part questions. If you absolutely must break your question up into multiple parts, leave it to like 3 max. If you absolutely must. A newer one too that I've been addressing here. Please save 1 question per bit message. I just feel, just trying to make things fair. It feels unfair if you say, "Hi, here's 100 bits. I have 4 questions." Also, then we can't answer your questions well. So if you could just limit yourself to 1 question, 1 bit message, or 1 highlighted message, that would really help us get to as many people as possible and make it as fair as possible. Okay. No spoilers, please. Not everyone has had a chance to see Madam Web. Okay. I'm sure that it's going to change everything in the
I do
Spider-Man
have.
universe.
No, don't you know? It's self-contained. It has nothing to do with Spider. I'm not kidding. She said this on an interview. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah. No. It has nothing to do with your Spider-Man movies or universe or anything. It's a standalone movie." So I spoiled that. Sorry, but that's okay. I saw it and I still didn't get that from it.
Yeah. Maybe check to see if someone else has asked the question that you've asked. Again, you're not going to get in trouble for this one. We just feel bad if you're like the 3rd person who has asked Doug how far he is in Has Been Hotel or something like that. We just have to kind of give you the table scraps of the answer. So not short. Wow, Heather, brain, work, high, fun. So just check maybe because we just feel bad. That's all. Okay, I think that's it now.
And you remind me now to check up, see how far I actually did get on Hazmat Hotel. Because I took a break for a few days because I've been sick, but I am feeling better.
Okay.
I did miss that, so I'm going to look that up. But while I look that up, you can, episode 7 is one of mine. Good for me. Good for me.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Good evening, Doug Pow. I'm sorry. How are you?
Good. It is a very difficult sound to recreate. I'm trying to what's like something like that. I can't remember.
Okay.
It's absolute gibberish. That's very funny.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Mars Brothers film Duck Soup?
Oh, I like it. My uncle brought up a good point. He said they're funny, but he didn't feel like they were really movies. They were more like stage shows. Um,
Mm.
and when he said that, I can't unsee it. They're not particularly cinematic, but they are funny and they are charming. So I do like them. But I think you brought up a really good point there. I do wish there was a touch more of a cinematic element to it.
Boy Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. So this question isn't so much how was Madam Web, but rather how awful was Madam Web. I heard it was not even memeable bad like Morbius was.
Oh, I think there is. Okay, so here's how I put it. Because some people are like, is this like the next Catwoman kind of thing? I think it's kind of halfway between Catwoman and the Eternals.
Okay.
Now, I think the Eternals is really funny, but a lot of people just see it as boring. I get that. Just that very stoic exposition-y dialogue that is so passionless, it's kind of hilarious. It just really, really tickles me. But in terms of like goofiness, there is some of that Catwoman stuff in there too, because it's played more like a serious drama, like a thriller. But then, like, for a couple seconds, like, you'll just see a superhero, like, a half hour in. And it's like watching Dead Zone, but then suddenly, like, Supergirl shows up. Like, oh, what the hell? Like, these don't go at all. So I thought it was very, very, very funny. I don't know if everyone's going to be on the same page as that, but I got a lot of laughs.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the film Rebecca? I recently watched it, and it's one of my new favorites by Hitchcock.
That's one I think I've heard about. I don't think I've seen. Hold on, Rebecca Hitchcock. I don't think I've seen this one. No, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. Like good people and I will try to check it out.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy Valentine's Day, Doug. What did you and your wife do?
So Madam Web, of course. I will say that she wanted to, because we both had to work, and she had a little extra time, and she said, I want to go see the movie with you. And she doesn't even like good comic book movies, man. Like, I don't think she'd be into this. And I was making bets about when she was going to leave, because I'm like, there's no way she's going to get through all this. And we both had a lot of good laughs. We really, really had a good time during it. So, yeah, it was actually, in a weird way, it was a very memorable Valentine's Day because of that.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Which silent horror film do you prefer, Nosferatu or The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari?
Caligari, big time. It's funny. I like Nosferatu fine. I respect it more than I love it. Caligari, I mean, just every shot, every set piece, everything is just a marvel to me. I mean, just looks amazing. It's like, I don't know, it's like one of the earliest twist endings I've ever seen. I don't know, in silent films, I'm like, do they even do twist endings? Maybe surprise endings, but not twist endings. And yeah, so when that happened, I'm like, wow, it's just interesting seeing where so many future films like would kind of do something similar, because they do a lot of the same techniques with it, even though it's a silent film. So yeah, I love that one.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy Valentine's Day, Heather. What did you and your husband do? We're probably just going to celebrate on the weekend. We both had work today and went to church this morning, so we'll just celebrate on the weekend, you know? Alex loves
You gotta see Madam Web.
Apparently.
It brought us closer together, man, I'm telling you. No.
Apparently. Alex loves musicals.
Timing!
Oh, geez, sorry. There was a timing alert. It scared me. Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. They just officially announced the cast for Marvel's Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss Bacharach, and Joseph Quinn.
Cool. I know Pedro Pascal. I'd have to look up the others.
One of them is the brother from The Bear.
Oh.
And another,
really?
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fucking cool. I really love that.
And another one was in Stranger Things.
Okay. I wonder, who would he play?
No, he's cousin. Sorry, you're right. Cousin. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cousin. I apologize.
Like, who is he playing? I'm so curious. Is he the Thing? Maybe, I don't know. Phenomenal act. I mean, most of these people are super talented. Oh, okay, yeah. Vanessa Kirby, I've seen it. I mean, these are all good people. Again, I'm learning more and more, especially with Pedro Pascal. If I'm like, I wouldn't originally see him in that role. It's like just wait, because he like somehow he chameleons himself without having to chameleon himself. He always looks exactly the same, but just somehow he really transforms himself with the performance. So yeah, no, I think it's cool. It's different enough that I want to see. Okay, like I want to see what spin they put on that. So yeah, I think that's cool.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Hazbin Hotel so far?
I'm up to like I said, about episode 7, and I like it. It is more and more clear what it is compared to Hell of a Boss. I think it is trying to be kind of a bigger story, more of an epic story. You know, again, kind of on its own terms. And as that goes, I'm liking it more and more. I'm seeing more and more like what they're trying to do with this. I do wish they would play around with the tropes a little bit more, like Hell of a Boss did, but at the same time, I know if you want to tell a bigger story, you have to stick to some of these tropes a little bit more. But yeah, it's still good. The animation's great, good characters and everything. So yeah, I'm still enjoying it.
Noff Noff, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy Single Men's Day for me, actually, because I ain't nailing my dream gal.
Apologies.
Good luck.
But thank you.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What has been your favorite song in Hazbin Hotel?
I like in the episodes. The first episode I really loved, the one with the I forget his name, the porn star character.
Angel.
Yeah, with him and Keith David's character. I love both those songs. I love them for totally different reasons. And yeah, I mean, one was just, and they're both very kind of, give the pun, touching in different ways. I really like, again, I think the Loser song especially feels very much like it's a feel-good song while also being a feel-bad song, and I think that's very clever. But then the song before that I thought was legitimately like kind of heartbreaking, but had like a good beat to it as well and everything. Yeah, I really like that episode.
Frey Miser, thank you for the 100 bits. I saw on Facebook you saw Madam Web, so how was it?
Awful. In the best way, in my opinion, the best way. I don't know if everyone's gonna agree with me on that, but we had a lot of good laughs.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer and the Fantastic Four cast?
The cast sounds good. Those are good actors, so I'm looking forward to that. I mean, it's a teaser, so I can't say much about it, you know, but it looks fine. The Deadpool 3 teaser. I guess I was expecting a little bit more, but again, it is a teaser. People say they give away too much, so it's like, that's fair, you know, I'll wait.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Fritz Lang films Metropolis and M? Lots of people consider the latter to be Peter Lorre's greatest acting.
Oh, it is. It's like chilling and uncomfortable and disturbing and everything. And so is the movie for that matter. Yeah, Metropolis. I mean, both those films are classics, and for almost entirely different reasons. You look at the style of one, they look at the style of the other, and it's like you can see, you know, this, you know, that they're similar, but I mean, they're just so different in many ways too. Yeah, no, both are wonderful.
Oyram, thank you for the 100 bits. Crazy idea I had. Also, this is part 1 of 2. And wanted to ask you, since you are the Tom and Jerry connoisseur, you probably know the duo have had love interests depicted in the past. And this is just part 1. We'll come back for part 2. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who is your favorite character in Hazbin Hotel overall?
I think, I was going to say Angel, but no, it's still, the radio guy, Alistair? Is that his name?
Alistair.
Alistair. Yeah, I really like the episode where the father, Charlie's father, visited, and that threw me for a loop. I did not expect at all that's what the father would be like, and that was a nice surprise, and it created a fun dichotomy there with him and Alistair. But yeah, and I like that song too. Yeah, pretty much anything with Alistair. I don't know. I love the way he's designed. I love that weird voice. I like his motivations are kind of interesting, and what's he gonna do and everything. So yeah, that's the one I like the most.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you finished Rick and Morty season 7 yet? And if so, what was your favorite and least favorite episode?
Least favorite. I mean, I almost have to say, just for the honor of it, probably the Numbers and Letters episode, because I think that's the idea. I think it was supposed to be kind of lame, but they just committed to it. You know what I mean? So I almost feel like I have to give it the credit and say, yeah, that's the worst one. But man, the hard work they put into making it the worst one was very impressive. It was very clever how it was the worst one, if that makes sense. And I don't know. I think the one where the spaghetti one is great. the one where without the one where Eye Patch Morty returns, I'll say that. I thought was appropriately empty. I thought that played out, and I so much I wish that was the last episode. And then I did think the last episode was pretty clever too.
Oi Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 2. I got to thinking, why couldn't any of the females be the one to do the cat and mouse slapstick sequences? If only for one episode. I think that'd be an interesting change of pace, not to mention I think Tom and Jerry might find that slightly attractive.
A literal cat and mouse chase. Possible. There was a Chuck Jones cartoon I remember where he's trying to court this cat, and I think like he gives the mouse he gives Jerry as a gift, and anytime he tries to eat Jerry, like the lady cat, would smack him and say, "Oh, kiss little Jerry," and stuff like that. But then at the end, she tries to eat him, like she was saying, "No, hold off, because we gotta prepare him right and everything." And so there's a little bit of that at the end of that episode. But yeah, I guess I don't see it too much.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen The Red Turtle 2016? And if so, what are your thoughts?
No, somebody asked me that last time, too, and I remember seeing the ads for it and hearing it was great, and then I never heard about it again. So that's one I gotta, I think, write down and check out, because yeah, I didn't. I remember hearing all this praise and it just kind of vanished.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you finish Has Been Hotel? And if so, what are your overall thoughts on the show?
Not yet. I'm on episode 7, and I'm liking it. It took me a while to see what direction it was going, and I do like the direction, trying to make kind of a bigger, more epic story. But again, kind of on its own terms.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the main villain, Adam, in Has Been Hotel?
Oh, that's such a funny idea, making like he's the original Dubro and everything. I think that is just so funny. And again, a good. I like stories where they kind of make heaven look more evil than hell. You know what I mean? Like, perfection in many respects can be much worse than imperfection. I like when they start to question it, like, wait, well, what do you have to do to get in here and stuff? Like, they don't even really know. I think all of that's very, very clever.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. Who do you think is the better villain? Lex Luthor from Superman the Animated Series, or Xanatos from Gargoyles?
Xanatos is a bit more original. Even though you could argue it takes a lot from Lex Luthor, sure. But I like that a little bit more, especially because he just goes back and forth so much between being a bad guy and a good guy, and it always feels organic. It always feels right. So I'll say that. But I mean, that Luthor is a really good Lex Luthor. Do you know that's also Mr. Krabs, the guy who voices him?
Yes, I did actually. Yeah.
I saw him in an episode of Billions, and I started looking him up. And I'm like, holy shit! I knew he was some voices. I didn't know he was all these voices. Holy shit!
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Dennis the Menace film, and how about an NC on it?
I might. I always have it written down. I always I never know if anyone will watch it. And it's passable. It's all right, I guess. That's another reason why I haven't done it. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna get a ton out of this. But yeah, like Walter Matthau is, good. It's just, I don't know. It's exactly what it promises.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Will Smith movie Gemini Man?
I never saw it. I heard it's really bad, which is a shame because I know Ang Lee directed that and it was 3D, and I thought, like, oh man, like Life of Pi, that 3D was so good. I thought this would be really great. To its credit, I did hear the 3D was pretty decent, but the film's not that great.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Romancing the Stone, 1984? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Years ago, I remember liking it. I know that's like one of the ultimate like rom-coms, adventure rom-coms and everything, and I remember liking it, but I don't think I've seen it since, like maybe 1990 is when I saw it, so it's been a while.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. What did you guys think of the Wicked teaser? It looks magical. The 9 million tulip field is real, not CGI. They planted all of those. The CGI looks like the bad Disney movie Oz the Great and Powerful, but the movie is still in post, so it will hopefully look better in November.
I heard so much talk about the bad CG in the movie. I was kind of like, I don't know, it's about what I thought it looked like. I thought it looked fine. The only one that looks weird, I'm not saying it'll be a bad performance. Grande does look a little weird as the lead, or the kind of lead, I guess, the side lead, whatever you call it, the co-star. Um, but I'll wait and see. I thought I always forget her name's playing the Green Witch. But I thought she actually looked pretty good in that role. The world looks right. I love Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard of Oz. Somebody must have made that joke already. But yeah, I don't know. I guess people were very split on the trailer, and I'm just like, no, looks okay. It's about what I thought it would look like.
Yeah, I just think they made a lot of weird choices, and like they've been doing this. Hollywood's been doing this weird thing where they're like not highlighting the fact that movies are musicals, like with Mean Girls and The Color Purple and stuff, and like they did that with this too, where I'm like, everyone knows Wicked is a musical. Just show us a little bit of a song as a treat.
Yeah, I don't, or maybe they only have so much time, so they're like, well, I mean, you did hear a little bit of, was it Nothing's Gonna, or what, Defying Gravity. I think they had a little bit of that. But yeah, you're right. I haven't seen too much in that, yeah.
Yeah, they had like a little bit of For Good in there, and that was it. And I was like, all right, whatever. Honest reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. This is like a whole sketch, so I'm gonna try to do my best, but like, you know, it's long. Sony exec. Okay, so the Madam Web movie is doing so hot, critics and viewers. Heather, well, what did you expect when you bring back the writers of Morbius to pen it? Sony execs. But I know you all like our next Spidey spinoff, El Muerto. Crickets. El Muerto. Heather, listen, Sony, unless the film stars Spider-Man, Venom, or both, we do not care. Understood, Sony exec. But what if we do one based on Big Wheels? Heather, you're just embarrassing yourself now.
The one thing I have a theory about, I think they were trying to make a real movie with this, the director and actors and everything. And then when they saw the rough of it, they're like, this ain't working. You know what? Let's just lean heavy into the cringe. Let's do the Morbius thing. Let's release it on Valentine's Day. Let's give it a little bit of a look like it's going to be bad. And let's just kind of lean into it. And I think they're trying to do reverse Morbius, where instead of like letting it spread that it's bad and then re-release it and nobody goes see it, just already build up, no, we already know it's going to be bad kind of thing. So I could be wrong, but that's kind of the vibe just from the overall editing, the feel of it, and everything that I kind of got. And the release date as well. I don't know. I feel like they want people to watch it and be like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we saw this? Come on, we saw this trash. We can like it ironically and stuff. I feel like that's the strategy, but I could be wrong.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, have you finished Doom Patrol? And if so, what did you think of the ending? I did finish Doom Patrol, and I really did like the ending. I thought it was a fitting ending for almost everyone. I mean, I don't even want to say almost everyone. It was a fitting ending for that wild ride of a show, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. I strongly recommend that you see Madam Web. I just saw it today, and it was hilarious for all the wrong reasons. If Morbius is the Thor 2 of the Sonyverse, then Madam Web is the Eternals of the Sonyverse.
That's what I'm saying, man. But like I said, a lot of people didn't find Eternals very funny, whatever, ironically or intentionally, whatever. So, we could be alone on this. We'll have to see. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy Valentine's Day. So glad we can celebrate with a 50% amazing choice for the cast of Fantastic Four. Okay, maybe 75% if Pedro nails it.
He's gonna nail it. I don't know. That's like one of the actors who I just put, I don't know, he's like Paul Giamatti now, or just whatever he touches is gonna be gold. Like, he's gonna be phenomenal. And yeah, now I'm just like, he could play Mickey Mouse. I don't care who you could play. He's gonna nail it, whatever it is. So yeah, where before I'm like, oh, that's a weird choice. Now I'm like, you know what? Somehow he's gonna pull out something amazing, like he always does.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Rank these movies: Reservoir Dogs, The Hateful Eight, Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown, A Hateful Eight, and then Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs is probably a better movie compared to Hateful Eight, because there's like a weird 40 minutes that's not needed in that film. But the rest of it is just so good. I love so much that I would still put it above that.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So, Doug, what was your favorite Super Bowl ad this year? And what did you think of the halftime show and the game in general?
Oh, the game was surprisingly really exciting. It was a good game. Like, we kept predicting what was going to happen, and you just can't with that. I thought it was really, really good. Let's see. The halftime show was decent. When he got on the skates, I thought that was pretty cool. And man, favorite. I'm trying to think. I remember there's like one commercial I thought was okay, and I'm already forgetting what it is. But the Super Bowl ads haven't been funny for years. And like I said, it's gotten to a point where I can't even remember like the one funny one I saw. So yeah, I'd have to look at a list of them again.
Fire Tower, thank you for the 100 bits. First, how was your day today? And second, have you heard of the Suicide Squad Isekai anime?
Uh, is that the one where the Joker has a drawn-on smile? Is that
Yes.
the one? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, where they get transported into a different world.
Yeah, I think I've seen the trailer. I haven't actually seen it. I kind of forgot about it until you brought it up again. And the day is good. What was the question? Just good day?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
How's your
good
day?
back. Yeah, it's good. Thank you.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy Valentine's Day to Chester and Doe.
Oh, God bless you. Yes. Oh, we must make quite an event of these two. Where do you want to go? I promise I can't take you there.
Oh, I don't even need it to go anywhere. We can just hang out at our favorite dumpster.
Well, that I can abide by.
I knew you could. No. At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 favorite Super Bowl commercials. The Christopher Walken one better be in there.
Oh, yeah, that one started out good, and that didn't have an ending. So that was kind of a shame. Oh, okay, so they mean like this Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to. Maybe I can just look up like funny commercials for that, just to answer it in a little bit. Because yeah, I already like forgetting what they are. Yeah, man, we can probably go to the next one while I look those up.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Nick Cage trailer for Long Legs?
Did I miss that? I think I missed that one.
Yeah, I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, I gotta look it up. Yeah, so sorry. I think I totally missed it.
Elite Gamer, thank you for the 18-month subscription. Welcome back. A hello and happy Valentine's Day to you, Doug, Heather, Chat, and of course, Chaplin. I just want to say serious thank you for 18 months of nothing but pure awesomeness from you all. You genuinely never cease to bring a smile to my face. I'm truly beyond grateful for what you do. Oh, and for you, Doug, 18 months, bitch!
So mean. Everybody, if you love me, why do you punch me? Why do you hurt me? No, thank you so much. Yeah, well, I am just looking through these. I'm just like, none of these made me laugh, man. I don't know. I guess the Doritos one, where it's like, what was it, like the ants or something like that? They're like kind of hunting down a boyfriend or something. I can't remember what it was. I remember kind of giggling at that. But yeah, that's about it. There really wasn't much.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the trailer for Late Night with the Devil?
I don't think I saw that one either. Hold on. Late Night for the Devil?
With the Devil.
With the Devil. With the Devil. Let me see. This looks pretty bonkers. Okay. I'll try to check this out. This looks appropriately nutty.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Ex Machina? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Oh, love it. Oh my God. Yeah. I like that guy's stuff. That's why, what's that movie coming out? It looked terrible. I think it's called like Civil War or something like that. And it looks really bad, but he wrote and directed it. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a chance. But yeah, just about everything he's done, I think it's just been like really good quality. If you like that, see Annihilation, also a wonderful movie. He does good stuff. I'm hoping Civil War is also good.
Demonaires, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, what are your thoughts on the movie Coyote versus Acme and how WB wants to shelve it for tax write-offs?
It's a shame because that's a James Gunn idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's behind that, I feel like there could be a real idea there. Because offhand, I'd be like, well, what are you really going to do with this? But if he's behind it, there must have been something good there, and that's a shame if they're really going to do that again. And let's hope if a lawsuit does get going, we can finally see that at Batgirl for that matter.
Genuinely, because it seriously feels like arson. They're just burning the house down for the money,
Yeah, no, it really does. And okay, like I said, like I think I even make a joke in my review that Madam Web is going to feel like the WB movie people wish they abandoned so they could get the tax write-off kind of thing. But like I said, it brought me so much joy still. I still want to see them even if they're bad. I don't know. It's just interesting seeing what people spend a lot of time making and what can work, what cannot work about it, just all of it. It's a shame that, just never goes seen.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Have have you ever seen the TV show Prodigal Son? It ran for 2 seasons and is available on Max with Michael Sheen absolutely killing it, plus a certain CZJ recurs in season 2.
Huh. No, I never even heard of this. All right, check it out. Looks kind of cool.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, if it were up to you, how would you do a finale for The Simpsons?
You know, it's funny because it's been on for so long, and I have thought about, yeah, how would you even end it? I don't know. I would something simple, like that show has just gotten so big and so crazy, and the cast, of characters has just gotten so gigantic. Don't do something like the Simpsons movie where it's a giant dome is going to destroy the city or something like that. Like just keep it very, very. When you were bringing up season 1, Heather, watching that, and you said, "Boy, I was actually shocked. There's a lot of heart to this and everything." I'm like, yeah, there was. That was kind of the like a legit saving grace of that season. I like to see it somehow return to that. I don't know. I don't think it has to go out with a bang. I think just maybe just a small cherry bomb. You know what I mean?
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Here's a new game. It's called 2 Hot Takes and a Lie. I basically share 2 hot takes that are real and one that is a complete lie. Your job is to guess which one is the lie. Here we go. A New Hope is one of the most boring Star Wars movies. Henry Cavill is the worst Superman. Godfather 2 is not better than the original.
I think you're making up that Henry Cavill is a bad Superman.
All right, they did give us bits with the answers later, so.
Okay, cool.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the character Valentino in Hazbin Hotel?
Gotta remind myself which one.
That is Angel's boyfriend, I guess you would call him.
Let's see, husband. Oh, I guess we didn't see it. Oh, that's right. Was this? Oh, he was kind of like the director too, wasn't he?
Angel's boss. Yeah, that's a better way to put it, chat.
Yeah. I mean, I love the design of him. I've only seen him for a little bit. I liked when Charlie kept interrupting the production. His reactions were pretty funny. Yeah, he's fine. Fine character.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Can we expect an NC for Arthur Christmas this holiday?
I don't know about this one. I've been thinking about doing that one at some point because there is so much to talk about. I'm experimenting with a review. I literally just finished editing where there's just so much in it. I'm like, how do I even talk about something that has so much in it? So I'm experimenting a little bit with that. If I can do that well, maybe one other one. Maybe I'll get around to doing Arthur Christmas.
Oyram, thank you for the 100 bits. Toy Story 5 is coming in 2026. Toy Story month by then? Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It's sad that I can do a Toy Story month. Like, that shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. Also depends how many Wednesdays are in that month, because sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5. So we'll see. I like those first 2 a lot. I'm one of the monsters that thinks 3's okay. But it should have stopped there, clearly. So I don't know. Maybe. I mean, by that point, there will be enough nostalgia for it. There already is, isn't there? So it might be an idea.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the character Sir Pentious in Hazbin Hotel?
Now that one, I don't remember the name.
The snake?
Oh!
Sir Pentious.
That's right. He's okay. I feel like there's more that can be done with it. Maybe I have to watch the rest of the season to see. Like they might be building up something they can kind of do with him more. As of now, it's like he's an okay character. That's something I'm discovering with the show too. A lot of characters I thought, well, they're okay, they're fine. Like the show keeps playing out, and you find out something really interesting about him. So yeah. So I'll wait before I throw him in the category.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you seen the trailers for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Deadpool and Wolverine? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Both look good. Yeah, Deadpool is only a teaser. There's not much, so I can't judge, too much. But Kingdom's another one where I'm like, oh, but the last one, like, that was such a perfect ending. Just stop there. But with that said, like, it does look like they're doing some cool stuff with it. And the effects are still really, really good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Mumra, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite project Jim Henson ever did and why? The Muppet Shows, Fraggle, Sesame Street, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, Storyteller, Jim Henson Hour, Muppet Movies, etc.?
Can I say the Wilkins commercials? Let me see. Labyrinth I really like. I like for the visuals and the imagination, but in terms of like, I'm trying to think what one could I just put on right now, and it's gonna sound weird. It's probably the Great Muppet Caper. I don't know why.
Nice.
There's just a feel and comedy to that movie I just really like, and I like detective movies too, even if it's a parody of them. And I don't know. There's such a charm to that movie. It's the one where they probably break the fourth wall the most, but it just felt the most natural. Like they almost turn into its own sort of storytelling art form to it. Yeah, I really like that one a great deal.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. Were you nervous getting LASIK?
Yeah. It helps to be really drugged up. Uh, but and my sister-in-law did it, and she did it before me, and that was the thing. I needed to know somebody who did it first, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it was fine and everything." And it was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Once you're kind of drugged up, it takes away a lot of the tension and the fear and everything, and because there is stuff that's like, oh, when you think about it, that's pretty intense, but it turned out fine. And when they actually do it, when the laser is, hitting your eye and everything, it does create these beautiful colors that I guess the doctor was saying some people actually do paintings of, because it's such a surreal, like, image. I don't know. It's kind of like looking in a kaleidoscope. It's kind of like that with like whatever color your iris is and the red laser, and it just creates all these really cool colors. I don't know. It's interesting. Look up some of those paintings if you can.
Oi, Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. About your Roger Rabbit idea exploring CGI, I had one idea where there would be a major CGI character who was a weasel, son of a smartass from the first movie, essentially a wannabe rapper, has all the bad tropes associated with CGI animation, right down to Pauly Shore being cast as him as part of the joke, and let's just say he's a really big fan of R. Kelly.
Ew. Oh, I don't like where that's going, but everything else is pretty funny.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. In Avatar, my favorite character is a tie between Katara and Toph. Who do you like more?
Tough. I like the I like the little tough people. They're just like, yeah, fuck the world, blah blah blah. I'm telling you, but they're very tiny. But they find a way to really work with that as well. And the fact she's blind on top of that too, I think just makes the character so interesting. But she's not defined by that either. Yeah, I mean, Katara's also great, but yeah, Tough's pretty cool.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Henry Cavill being the worst Superman was the lie in the game.
I had a feeling. I'm like, these two seem too similar. And in a weird way, I could see where you're coming from with those arguments too, with Star Wars and Godfather.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the trailer for Iwaju? It's a Disney Plus animated series set in futuristic Nigeria that debuts later this month.
I saw it. Sounds weird. I saw it, literally just saw it. I didn't hear it. I was just going through my phone. I saw the little trailer there. It has a little preview thing where it just shows the thing without the audio. And at that point, I don't know why I didn't just click on it and watch it. But what I saw looked pretty cool. Kind of sounds like a cool idea.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. Pop quiz, hot shot for 200 bits. In which review did you say the main character, did you say of the main character early in the movie, look at his hair. It looks like Level from Super Mario Bros.
Saved by the Bell, maybe? I remember I talked about Zach Morris's hair when he tries to look like Vanilla Ice, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
I believe I have the answer here, and you are not correct.
Yeah.
Demon Airs, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, do you still watch the Goofy short show? Sorry. Do you still watch the Goofy short How to Play Football During the Super Bowl? And if you still do, how did that tradition start?
We did finally stop because I think we just got tired watching it. But on top of that, because we are reviewers and commentators and stuff like that, we are like, we should watch the halftime show. We should actually sit down and watch these. I don't know. I think I just wasn't into the halftime shows for a long time were really lame. And they've gotten better. They've gotten to a point where at the very least, they're okay. Or even if they're really bad, they're going to be spectacularly bad kind of thing. So now they have kind of become something to, like, they've been okay to watch, where before they were just so dull and so boring and so nothing that we would just put on these the Goofy Short how to play football instead of that. But yeah, we haven't done it for a while because actually the halftime shows, in one way or another, have been at the very least entertaining enough.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Last has been question for me, I promise. Who would you say is your absolute least favorite character, and why is it Valentino?
Trying to think, least favorite. I'm trying to think about like, the side story with like sort of the war going on and stuff like that. In the pilot, they may look like there's going to be a lot more of that, and they haven't put a ton of focus on that. So a lot of those characters kind of got sidelined, which I kind of get. You want to focus more on the main leads and everything. There are a lot of characters, but most of those I think kind of the Snake is a little bit in that category too. Aren't super interesting right now, at least at the point where I'm watching it. But they could. There's room to grow.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Freak Show Cinema for Eyes Wide Shut in honor of its 25th anniversary.
Ooh, 25th anniversary. I did a video on it before. I was one of the first when I came back with the NC. I was kind of doing these more editorial videos and reviews and stuff. I did one talking about Eyes Wide Shut. So that's kind of like my official video on it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. I missed what Doug said at the beginning of chat. He was talking about something bringing him so much spiritual joy.
Oh, it's Madam Web, of course. We had a lot of fun watching it, but again, probably not for the reasons it's intending.
DCL Coda, thank you for the 100 bits. I have a question. Doug, can you just sit and nod approvingly while Heather and I geek out over the Wicked trailer? But seriously, I am so psyched. Cynthia, I would never remember how to say the name, Erivo's riff alone has me excited. I mean, I am excited. I don't want you to think that my thoughts are not that I am excited to see where this is going to go. But I do wish that they maybe chose some different shots for the trailer. Like some of the shots and things they had, I was like, why are we showing this? And why don't we get just a little bit more songs? I mean, I guess we're gonna get more. Obviously, we're gonna get more. But I wait on bated breath until I get more.
I'm so curious because I did see some people were really kind of like half and half on when you're like, I wish we got some different shot. Like what, I guess what was kind of the mindset of what you thought it was going to be?
I'm not saying it looks bad or anything, but like, I don't know. I thought that we'd see a little bit of dancing and like some musical numbers or
more
something.
The musical element. I see what you're saying. Okay.
I don't think it looked bad, but I was like, okay, we're going to focus on like a train, I guess, for a second here. Why?
you know what I wonder if it is the same way Disney or a lot of anime films kind of think like, oh, well, we can't show the more musical, pretty elements of an anime, or at least they used to advertise it this way. Let's just show the humor, like kind of the Toy Story humor and stuff like that. And then Frozen, that happened with Frozen. They just show like the snowman and the reindeer interacting, and like it's something that wasn't even in the movie. Then people enjoyed the Japanese trailer more because that showed Elsa and Anna and the big songs and stuff like that. I wonder if it's the same thing with musicals. They think people are gonna see a musical and go add to it because there are some people that just cannot get into them at all.
I mean, I understand.
And maybe they're trying to hit them. That's the only thing I can figure.
I do feel like I understand that, but I think it's worse if you don't let people know they're walking into a musical.
I usually agree, but then Dune happened where they were trying to make that look like an action film and they didn't say it was part one, and I thought people were going to be pissed, and people loved the film. So I don't know. It's It's a little odd, but you do have a good point because you're right. They always do that with music. Sweeney Todd, the same thing. They show him singing for a second, though that might have been to their advantage. And they didn't even really let people know much that it's a musical. So that's kind of a fair point.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, as someone who is also curious about the world of Final Fantasy, I see why you started playing it, but could you please promise to play Telltale's The Walking Dead sometime this year? P.S. Get the definitive edition.
I make no promises, but we'll probably do like another vote kind of thing. I also didn't know the game was so short because I think Heather was saying we could do it in, like 3 streams or something like that?
Well, you could do some of the season. Well, each episode is about 2 to 3 hours, like an hour and a half to 3 hours long. Okay. There's 5 episodes in the first season.
Okay, all right. So it could, I mean, even then, that's not a super long time where some of these streams take 10 or something like that. So we might do the same thing and open it up to a vote again or something like that. But I'm curious to check it out.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the 1960 horror classic House of Usher starring Vincent Price?
See, I always confuse that for House of Wax. Don't. I know the story. I don't think I've seen the movie. Vincent Price. Let me see if any of the imagery is bringing up anything. No, I don't think I've seen this one. God, it looks colorful. I'll try to check that out. Maybe I'll check that out. It looks like a Hammer horror film, I'm assuming. I'll try to check it out maybe around Halloween time.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Wrongfully Accused?
I've seen bits of it, and that's enough. It just looked like another Spy Hard, like the same humor and everything. It just didn't look up my alley.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, what shows are you watching currently, and what do you think so far?
I'm rewatching Billions, which has been my wife out of nowhere suddenly wanted to see the show, and I'm like, I'm more than happy to watch this again because I love this show. And Christ, is it good? It's so good. Has Been Hotel, which I'm enjoying. I finished Rick and Morty. I liked that. Sure, there's Percy Jackson. I'm enjoying too. It's a fair amount.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. What a time to be a film fan. So many trailers the last few days, including a new Godzilla X Kong trailer today. By the way, what did you think of that trailer?
I haven't seen it yet. I was too busy watching Madam Web. I just got back and I saw there's a new trailer for it. I'm like, I gotta see that. So yeah, I'll get around to it.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who is your favorite villain character who happens to be the parent of the main character? For example, Darth Vader, Cotton Hill, Beatrice Horseman. For me, it's definitely Tony's mother, Livia from The Sopranos. You have to be a special kind of awful to try and have your son murdered for putting you in a fancy retirement home.
Man, I mean, it's hard not to go for Darth Vader, but I like I don't know if you call her a villain, but she kind of is. The mother from Archer is pretty damn funny. I'm sure I know there's others. It's a good question. So much that like I'm just thinking of all these characters. I'm like, well, do I like that one more? That one more? As of now, I'll say Darth Vader, but it is open to change.
Caleb, thank you for the 500 bits. Appreciate that. A bit random this question is, I'll admit, but Doug, are you a fan of the rock band Skid Row?
I don't know if I know that one. Let me look. Skid Row band. They look. I remember you. My guess is I've probably seen or heard some of these songs. I just have to hear them again. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like once I hear it, I'll be like, oh, okay, like they're the ones that did this song. Because that's the thing with metal. I like a lot of metal songs. I like a lot of metal bands. I'm really bad at remembering who sung what. Especially if it's like kind of early 80s, like long, like, or mid 80s, I should say, the sort of long, crazy hair and stuff like that. I'm really bad at remembering a lot of that. But yeah, I will try to look them up and see if I remember liking them.
Wild Katarn, thank you for the 100 bits. Any chance we'll get another first viewing soon? Seeing you and Rob lose your minds and maybe a special guest episode with you and your dad?
Maybe. We're talking about doing, there's a couple that I did tell Rob, I'm like, we gotta, because he hasn't seen them yet. So we'll probably do it with like Wish or Dial of Destiny, ones where I'm like, if I'm excited to see what his reaction is, like other people will be excited too. So we'll film those.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we get a clue for next week's NC review, please?
It is a comic book movie that I've wanted to talk about for a bit, even though it's not that old.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of Data? He's my favorite Star Trek character.
He's pretty great. Yeah, especially watching reruns again. And it's always so funny. They don't do him that great at the beginning of the show, and then they don't do him great at the end with like the movies and I guess Picard is. Although I never did watch much of Picard, but yeah, man, when they really got the writing going with that character and his performance and everything, it's just so good. And I don't know, for such a simple character, and I think that's always the great contradiction, is that for such a simple character, there's like so much you can read into with him and so much you can connect to your own humanity. Yeah, no, it's a really great character.
Sean49 Doctor, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I hear you're into documentaries. Did you ever see the 3-part piece Patrick Stewart did years ago about MGM, When the Lion Roars? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Man, did I? Because I remember seeing ads for it. I think I saw the Warner Brothers one. I don't. Shit. Let me look it up again. Yeah, MGM When the Lion Roars, right?
Roars, yeah.
The Lion Roars. Let me see if any of this sparks any memories. I don't think so. I should though. This looks like something I would really enjoy. I'll try to. Yeah, I'll try to go out of my way to watch that because that does look like something I'd really, really get into.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. Who's the worst character in The Office?
Timing!
Can I just say the romance as a character? I just hated that so much. You know they're gonna get together and they just stretch it out. The romance mixed with John Krasinski's look. I fucking hate that look. I hate all of that. That's honestly what really just like. Anytime someone wants to watch the show, I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't do that romance, and I can't do that look. I just can't. I can't. I acknowledge the rest of the show is fine, but I can't do those two things.
Caleb, thank you so much for the 4-month subscription. Welcome back. Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 100 bits. Dude, you know I'll draw you whatever you want for free. But seriously, you made some interesting points on AI. Sometimes I'll use it as a starting point to get some ideas for my own projects if I'm stuck on visualizing something.
Yeah, well, someone brought up an interesting point too. Some in the comments are saying they're an illustrator, and while they do not use AI art, to draw or create stuff, they'll use it for poses, like person bending over to grab something, just to get the form of somebody doing that, which I think it is great. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things you can discover. There's a lot of things that can go really south and have gone really south and should be given appropriate pushback to it. But yeah, no, it's when people actually watch the video, they find they like it. They agree with what I say, but I think they look at the title and they get the wrong idea and immediately, dismiss it. But watch it. We might agree on more stuff than you think.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Spring Breakers?
Never even heard of it. Oh, wait. Did I? Damn it, this is like really the stream of like, I don't know that. Wait, did I? Spring Breakers. This might have been one that, oh no, this isn't. Never even heard of this one. Yeah. I don't know, because I've never seen it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. If you could have dinner with one actor, one director, and one screenwriter, who would you pick and what would you ask them?
Man, I don't know. Lord and Miller, I guess, would be pretty interesting. I love to. We were talking about this before. The director of Arthur Christmas, I love to talk to about just how and Ron's Gone Wrong. Both those films I thought were wonderful, and I'd love to know the process of making those.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the 1961 horror classic, The Innocents?
Oh my God. Amazing film. If you read into that movie what they are hinting very heavily is going on, it's one of the most disturbing, uncomfortable movies you could ever see. Because it's made like, what was it, in the 60s, I think, something like that. And it's like supposed to be in the Victorian era and stuff. They can't say what they're doing, but they're hinting very, very hard at it. And it is uncomfortable as shit.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I think you've answered this a million times, but my memory is just fucking bad. Will you do a compilation review or ever dedicate a whole month to the new Planet of the Apes films when Kingdom comes out?
That's the thing. I won't wait for that movie to come out. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing like a video about all the Planet of the Apes movies because I have seen. No, I actually haven't seen all the newest ones. The more I think about it, I saw the last one that came out, but I didn't see the two prior, so I gotta check that out, those out. But yeah, I feel like I know the originals well enough that I can do, even though there's a lot of them, I can do a pretty good compilation video on them. I feel like.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 100 bits. So, how did Chester and Doe's Valentine's pizza pie turn out?
Oh my God, it was absolutely wonderful. Very few rats, but what little there were was very good protein.
FBL thing, I had nothing to add. I was trying to think for a second. I was like, no, I've got nothing to add. Just, oh yeah. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Check out the bloopers of the Rowena scene from Black Books. Hilarious.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen the bloopers from Black Books. That they'd be really, really funny. I gotta check that out.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever boxed in a match?
No, I think I'm allergic to pain. It doesn't react well with me. I kind of want to keep it at a distance. No, especially I feel like my head just in general is like very sad. I don't even like when it rains. Just the water on my head. I'm just like, oh, I don't like this. So I idea of getting punched. I know it makes me less of a man or whatever, but I'm just like, yeah, no, that sounds awful. I've been punched like accidentally before. Like sometimes somebody would do a stunt and hit me. It's like, I got through it fine, but I'm still like, no, I don't want to go through that. That sounds awful. So, no, I have no interest. I'm fine just doing the punching bag or the mitts.
When you first started saying that, I thought you were going to joke that your face was really punchable. And then you're like, oh no, I just got a sensitive scalp. And I was like, oh, well, guess that's not where he's going.
I mean, some things just go without saying. I mean, come on. I can feel all your computer modders have several, fist marks in just by looking at my face.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you rather have the pizza from Home Alone 2 or the cheeseburger from the menu?
Well, we went to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant where they had a cheeseburger, and I was weirdly in the mood just for a cheeseburger, and I feel like I've had that cheeseburger from the menu, and it was phenomenal. It depends what I'm in the mood for, honestly. I will say that if it's winter, I'm usually more in the mood for pizza. If it's like summertime, usually more in the mood for a burger.
Demonaires, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, can we get a hint for next week's NC?
It is a comic book movie I wanted to talk about for a fair amount of time, but it has not been out that long.
Casper CDJ, thank you, or G, sorry, I said J, but read G. Thank you for the 200 bits. Are you going to be at C2E2 again this year?
Yes. There's a couple. We're doing a lot of Midwest cons this year. I think that's going to sort of be like my way to ease me back into doing cons. We're going to do a lot in the Midwest. Yeah, keep an eye out for that. We got several coming up.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of V from Owl House? I think she was the character who got the most screwed over from the show getting cut short. She got so much build up, but the show did very little with her.
Is that the character that can shape shift? Is that yeah? I thought she was okay. It's one of those where what they did was good enough. I didn't need more. I thought they got across a fair amount of emotion and identity and everything with that character. So I thought it was okay.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. You brought up before in jokes how you wished you had better grades growing up. Is that serious, or were you actually not a good student? If the latter, did Rob attempt to help you with your homework?
I was a terrible student. And, I found out later, I'm like, I did have ADHD, but I wasn't told, which was interesting. Or maybe I wasn't, I forgot to pay attention. But no, I feel like it would have been brought up. And Rob did help me out a great deal because he was a very good student, particularly anything with like history or English. He was really good at summing up stories, of what's going on and explaining why it's important, why it's cool. You know what I mean? And that is something where I really do appreciate, when you get a good teacher, because I don't know, whenever I took tests, it was always like, just answer these random questions just to see if you're paying attention. They weren't things that were like, hey, you need to know this because this is where you're from. This is like your history. These are our stories. They were very rarely put to me that way. It was more, what's the name of this river that this person crossed? It shouldn't be what's the name of it. It's why did that person cross that river? Like those were the questions I didn't get. And I feel like if that was taught more and those questions were asked more, maybe I would have been better because I was good at art. I was usually okay at English. But yeah, maybe it could totally be too that I just had trouble paying attention. Maybe it was and I just missed it. But I feel like during tests that there were not many whys. There was more what. And I feel like that should not be the focus.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Lisa Frankenstein?
I didn't see it. I heard it's not that great. Like starts off good and then it gets kind of lame. Which is a shame. I thought it was kind of a cool idea. Kind of looked like my boyfriend's back kind of film. But then you know what? Maybe I'd see it. I think it's great. I haven't seen it, so I guess I shouldn't comment.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Abbott Elementary?
I tried. I didn't like it. Good cast. It's a very good cast. I didn't think any of the writing was funny. I have a similar thought to Superstore. Great cast. Even good characters. I'll say it's even good, solid characters. They just don't give them anything funny to say.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the movie Cube?
Yeah, that's when like all these like you're trapped somewhere, get out, where like sort of like Danger Room movies came out, and that's always one where I'm like, I think I saw that one. Yeah, I saw this one. I remember liking it, but I haven't seen it in a really long time.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. I just read this review of Madam Web. What an undeservedly hopeless film this is, a sort of 2-hour explosion in a boringness factory in which the forces of dullness and stupidity combine in new and infinitely perturbing ways.
Explosion would be something. There's not really many explosions there's not much action in the movie. It's not even much of a comic book movie, which again just kind of makes it funnier to me. But that's the one where maybe they mean like just an explosion of dull, but yeah, there's very few explosions in the movie.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Doug, have you seen the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Fine. It is only a teaser, so I can't react too much, but what I saw looks fine.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. What's worse, Cypher Rage or Jupiter Jones?
Oh, it's Cypher Rage, because that's supposed to be taken seriously. I feel like Jupiter Jones is pretty silly. I don't know. Jupiter Jones sounds a little cooler, so I guess I'll say that's a little better.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I picked up The Holdovers on Blu-ray a couple of days ago. I haven't watched it yet, but after all the praise I've heard, I can't wait to see what people are talking about.
It is very good. I'll say this. It was not my favorite film of the year, but it's clearly one of the best films of the year. It'd be like in my top 5. But I do understand why it is some other people's favorite. Like it is just, everything's just good and solid and takes the story that has kind of been done before several times and just like really adds this new humanity to it, just with the excellent direction and acting in there. Even the writing, I'll say, it's like the writing's good. I can't say it's spectacular, but just the acting, directing really give it this new life. And it just, I don't know, these people just feel so real when that director gets them done really right.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Will you ever review the Paddington movies?
I probably will. Maybe around Christmas time, I might do like a compilation of the two. Yeah, because they're very enjoyable movies.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. Hope you are well. I'm currently watching every animated Disney movie. Just finished Sleeping Beauty. Personally found it boring apart from the villain.
That is a film that is ruled by the side characters and the art style. The main leads are some of the most boring in Disney history. Unforgivably boring, in my opinion. But I like the fairies. I like the villains. Even the kings, I think, are okay. Look at the art style. Again, just look at those backgrounds, because I feel like I can watch just the backgrounds of that movie. I've watched that movie several times just to look at the backgrounds.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. What is your favorite and least favorite Woody Allen films? The ones I like are Scoop with Scarlett Johansson, Mighty Aphrodite, Midnight in Paris. Is there any you would recommend? Note, I didn't like everything you wanted to know about sex.
That's the one I was going to say I didn't care much for. The Gene Wilder bit is great. Everything else I thought was very dull and boring. I really, Crimes and Misdemeanors is a surprisingly uncomfortable movie. It is so cleverly done. But just keep in mind, there are funny elements to it, but it's not that much of a comedy. There's a lot more drama to it. And it's very, very good. I recommend that one.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Who would win in a fight between Art the Clown and Megan?
Art the Clown. He played dirty. He'd have something planned.
CCL Coda, thank you for the 100 bits. Random fun fact, a preview of Jack and Jill was a challenge reward on Survivor. Fans and even the challenge winners that the losers said the losers were lucky. Product placement on Survivor would make Michael Bay embarrassed.
I was going to say, if they actually show them saying they got off lucky, that'd be really, really funny.
Anthony, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you ever make another movie or nostalgia critic the movie?
Because making movies takes a lot of time. I'm a lot older, and it does, this stuff does weigh on you after a while. If I was to do like 1 to 2 things on it, like maybe write and act, or like edit and direct, or something like that, I don't think I can do everything again. And it had to be something I really, really want to do, because it does take a lot of energy, and a lot of time. So it has to be something where it's like, man, when it's draining you, you still got to be like, I want to finish this, man. I'm excited, to finish this kind of thing. You'll let it kind of hurt you a little bit to get to the end. So yeah, I think it's just good advice in general when making a movie. Just make sure, find something in it you really, really want to accomplish and create.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. Who do you think is the better villain? Andreas from Amphibia or Bill from Gravity Falls?
Bill weirdly is more threatening, and I don't know why. He shouldn't be threatening. He's the design is silly, the voice is silly, but when he needs to be intimidating, for some reason it really works. And Andreas is how you say it. I remember being more complex and interesting, but in terms of just like weirdly getting chills around a character, I would say Bill, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it is just all these things that don't normally go together, weirdly working, weirdly complementing it.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I just realized that Titanic would have been the perfect movie to review on Valentine's Day. Oh well, will you still review it at some point?
I might. I have it down as a possibility. I mean, it's a long movie, obviously. So I have it down because I wouldn't mind talking about it. Yeah, I kind of forgot when the review was going up today. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Valentine's Day. Maybe I should have done like some sort of like, like some sort of weird rom-com or something. But Kung Pao is still has a lot of heart to it. It's still a very romantic movie, like they say.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of the Valhalla episode of Rick and Morty? The ending where they tearfully force Bigfoot back into the woods despite him being turned into a human got a big laugh out of me.
Yeah, that was funny. I don't know. That was one for some reason I thought that would play funnier and I would like it more because I love the setup. That setup was so great. And I don't know. Maybe because it just goes the route you think a Rick and Morty episode would go, which, I mean, I don't know. How can you be angry at that? I wasn't angry at it. I didn't dislike it, but I did. I want a few more surprises from it. And that is the tricky thing when you write a show that's so good at surprising you. You have to keep that going. You're just not going to keep that, going. You're going to have episodes where it's like, oh, we thought it was going to happen. Just happened.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of Dancing with Myself?
Never even heard of that one. Let's see. Dancing with Myself. Oh, it's the song. I'm assuming you're talking about the song Dancing with Myself. Okay, I thought you were talking about
the only thing I could think of, but I just assumed there was a movie I didn't know about.
Yeah, no, that was my thought too. It's just like, oh, like I wonder if it's based on the song at all or whatever. It's like, oh, it looks like it is just talking about the song. Yeah, like it fine. I like Billy Idol.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. Who is an actor you want to like, but no matter what you see them in, it seems they're trying too hard? For me, it's easily Denzel Washington.
Oh, I think Denzel's pretty good. He is in a lot of bad stuff, I will say, but he's usually good. Man, it's a good question. Trying too hard. And sometimes they really work. I'm not going to say they don't, but I see that happen a lot from Jim Carrey and Leonardo DiCaprio. I feel like they're just trying it. And it's never that they're lazy. It's like they're trying to throw so much at you with their performance. And I'm like, I feel like this would be good actually if you just kind of laid off. It took it a little bit more easy. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to, get veins popping and throw it. It's like if anything, that almost becomes more distracting. But they turn in good performances, certainly. But yeah, I wouldn't say I always see him like that, but I have seen him several times like that.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Apocalypse Now?
I like it. I mean, my thoughts, I think, are a lot of people's thoughts. The buildup is phenomenal and amazing, and to a point where I don't know if you could ever get an appropriate payoff. And even when you do get there, the payoff is still not that great with Brando and everything. But I love the experimenting with it. I mean, there's so much experimenting in that film, almost to a fault. I mean, guy, you know the production of that movie, you know the insanity it was. But yeah, I still like it. It's an important film to see, whether you like it or not. By the end, it's something any film buff should see and should even check out the making of that the wife put together. Like that in some respects, I think some people argue is even better than the film itself.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you watch epic rap battles of history?
A little bit. I'm so behind. I don't even know if they're still doing it. But I remember I used to watch some in the early days of YouTube, and I had a real good laugh with it.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. If you had to pick 3 actors as your absolute favorite, who would they be?
Oh man, George C. Scott, Gregory Peck, and maybe if we're including actresses in there, maybe a toss-up between Paul Giamatti and Laura Linney. Always gives me chills when I see her name. Both of them are just like. I was trying to think if I've ever seen a bad performance from either of them. Like, a couple things in the early days weren't always great, but they're still finding their footing. So yeah, so it's sort of a toss-up between those two.
Falashi, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, you're a nerdy gamer and epic streamer now. You're not supposed to like sports anymore.
I mean, some things just go beyond just enjoying sports. I mean, like, you know, something like what Heather was saying, some people can say, oh, I don't like musicals, but they just see that one musical that's amazing or something. It's the same thing here. I mean, sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm not super huge into football, but that was just a fucking great game. Like, that was edgy. You're seeing what the hell's going to happen game.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Children of Men?
I liked it. I feel like I may have to see it again because it is one of those where it's like, I don't know. I don't see too much happen over like once you see the beginning of it, like the first 20 minutes, it's like, well, that's kind of the rest of the movie. There's 1 or 2 twisted turns, but it's mainly like that. This is it. But I think that's the idea of it. It's supposed to kind of be the spectacle. I think everything was building up to just that one moment without giving away any spoilers when the reveal at the end, which again, there's no real twist or anything, but like just when people actually see it, the reaction of everything. I think the whole movie was building up just for that reaction, a very human moment in a very inhuman moment as well, if that makes sense. Like sort of the best of humanity shining out the worst of humanity kind of thing, you know, which is very cliche, but it's done very well.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I didn't know you smoked cigars, Doug. Now all you need is a dark room with you sitting in a chair facing the wall with one light shining on you and you spinning around revealing Doug, the mob boss, smoking that cigar in a fancy suit.
Well, hold on. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Yeah, I don't have a cigar in here, so you get a Sharpie.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. 3 guesses to who I meant by CZJ in Prodigal Son. She's hot.
Oh, you know, it's fun. I heard it as ZZJ, so I was legit like, who is ZZJ? I'm like, is that a rapper or something? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Zeta Jones.
Anthony, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug has a massive audience without being the critic. I'm new to the stream, but do you, Doug Walker, do you do Doug Walker analytical video essays? People also want to see that stuff, you being genuine.
Yeah, I'm doing so Untitled Review Show. I'm getting back into that. I'm doing Madam Web with that. Hopefully I can get back into the swing of things with those. I started doing like these Doug Ramble videos, and again, people seem to like those. So yeah, there'll be more. I took a break because I got shingles and it gave me really bad fatigue, brain fog, so I had to take a break from the extra videos. But yeah, no, they're fun to do. And I'm a rambler, so I'm never short material.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I'm so glad you saw Saltburn. Were you aware that the song he dances to at the end by Sophie Ellis Baxter is over 20 years old and has had a huge resurgence in the charts in the UK because of the film?
Oh, that's cool. No, I'd be lying if I said I remember what song. I remember him. I remember him dancing. I blanked on what the song was. I think by that point too. I don't know. I don't know if I'm in the minority on this or not. I didn't care for the ending. At the, I feel like it should have ended like 15 minutes earlier, personally. But it does entirely change the film when you do that. So I get if people don't. But I think I was focusing more on that than probably the song choice. So yeah, I'll try to check it out again.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite Tamra NC character?
Aunt Despair, I'm just loving more and more. And part of that is I love her line delivery because I always have a way I'm imagining it's going to be said when I write it. And then when she says it, it's never like that, but it's always just, she puts the emphasis in the strangest places. And I love that. And it's just so natural for her too. I don't know. There's like, she just has to put no effort in playing that character, yet somehow she just creates like this fully developed, identity out of it. It's just so funny.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. Who's your favorite character in Rocko's Modern Life?
Trying to think back to the show. I think the two frogs, the married couple, with the voices that sound like this. They were pretty funny.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. The Super Mario Bros. Haircut trivia was cool as ice. So close. Do you enjoy the trivia, or should I give it a rest?
Oh, I don't get it. As long as we get the money. No, I'm really fine with whatever you do with that. And it's fine, because it did show how close I was. I was like, Zach Morris looking like Vanilla Ice, so it's like, it was kind of close.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of the song Stayed Gone in Hazbin Hotel? I personally do not like it. I hate that vocal style where it sounds like they're speaking the lyrics. It always sounds like it was written to be a normal scene, but they just threw a beat in the background and forgot to start singing.
Oh, I liked it a lot, actually. I really liked that song. But again, maybe part of it is I was really liking the the rivalry between those two. And I thought, I like songs that have a lot of conflict in them, and that is entirely what that is. But I also thought it was funny. I thought it was a very, in a good way, kind of an out of nowhere song. Just like, oh, I didn't know we would go into this, but it really explained where they were both coming from and their attachment to Charlie and everything. So I love the lead in too. At some point they're just, oh wait, I'm thinking of a different one. I'm thinking of the one with the with Charlie's father. I'm so sorry. No, this was the Radio versus TV. I apologize. I still like that one. Because the same thing. I like the conflict and I like the visuals in it. I like Alistair a lot. I remember enjoying it. I'm not gonna say it's like the best song, but I remember liking it. I can see why you would not get into that style though, messing with the vocals.
Carly Starr, thank you for that subscription. Welcome, appreciate that. Which Twitch is... Yep, it is. I always want to hesitate with this name, but it is. Which Twitch is Twitch? Thank you for that 4-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Hey, Doug, just curious, what happened to the Channel Awesome website? It was still there when I checked last month, and now it doesn't work anymore. What's going on?
We haven't updated it in forever. It's just something nobody was going to it anymore. It served us great when YouTube kept kicking us off of their site and everything, and then stuff like Blip and everything definitely helped fill in those gaps for that time, but just nobody was going there anymore. It just didn't make sense to keep it around. So yeah, no, it was a good run and everything, but we're just like, everyone's going to YouTube. No one even brought up, hey, how come the site's not being updated or anything like that? So thank you so much. But yeah, I haven't seen that many of those still around. Very few of those sites still around.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. Despite the flack he sometimes gets, I'm a fan of Cyclops. Were there any points in the original cartoon or the comics where you did like him?
Yeah, I mean, he serves his function okay for what he's supposed to be. I do like it when they have him take a few more risks or have a legit badass line, which again isn't that often. I remember in the comics he was a little bit more badass. There was definitely a little bit more like you see him kind of being pushed to the edge and stuff like that. I'm trying to think. I don't know why, and it was all in the performance. I remember in the cartoon there's one scene where like like he saves Wolverine and Gambit. He's just like, you coming or is it your day off? I don't know why. It's not like a great line, but the way he said it was really fucking cool.
Chat, thank you for another hype train. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hashi Doodle, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you watched any of the Punisher films? All three of them, especially Warzone, are oozing copious amounts of cheese, ripe for the NC.
I never have. I've never seen the original kind of, did Canon do it, I think? I never saw they try to reboot it with John Travolta. I think I stopped watching Daredevil when that character came in too. Something about that character, I guess, just keeps me away from it. I don't know why. I have no particular disinterest in the character, but yeah, there's some sort of a weird curse or a weird repellent to that character I have for some reason.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. So you have had Family Guy steal your Star Trek joke, Warner Brothers steal your Mad Max Roadrunner joke, and now Wicked is stealing your Jeff Goldblum Wizard from the Story of Santa Christ video.
I was gonna say also, and there has to be other people saying Wizard of Oz, right? I mean, that's gotta be once he's there. I mean, even when he was announced, people must have been making that joke. But honestly, as much as I like to say, look, blah, 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 probably coincidence. But it's possible. I mean, I feel like I've seen like other reviewers and other people, like, people can have the same thoughts, but there are some things that are almost like line for line, kind of thing. And I don't know, as long as it doesn't happen too much, I don't get that angry at it. I mean, if it's like entire routines and it just keeps going, then I'm gonna get a little angry. But honestly, there is a lot of similar thinking in comedy. So it definitely wouldn't surprise me if they were just coincidences.
Power Gamer, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 1 of 2. So I broke a personal record and saw 14 new movies last year, and this is my ranking of all of them. 14, Five Nights at Freddy's. 13, Wish. 12, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. 11, Ruby Gillum, Teenage Kraken. 10, Cocaine Bear. 9, Renfield. 8, Elemental. Power Gamer, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 2. 7, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. 6, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. 5, Nimona. 4, Oppenheimer. 3, Boy and the Heron. 2, Godzilla Minus One. And number 1, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I think that was still my favorite from last year too. Yeah, I think that's it. And there were some good movies last year, definitely. If you didn't have it on there, check out The Holdovers, if that wasn't on there. I think you'd enjoy that.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you be down for trying Life is Strange?
Yeah, I think Heather was telling me about that.
They're good games. I like them.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind maybe trying that out.
Hunter Tech, thank you for the 100 bits. Are you ever going to do an NC review of The Majestic? Also, which one do you like better, The Majestic or Me, Myself, and Irene? They both came out the same year, and I think both of good.
I guess I'll say The Majestic just for the earnestness of it. I still don't like. I think it goes too far with it. It does start to feel manipulative, but I don't know. You can feel them trying. Where with Me, Myself, and Irene, I'm not sure what they were trying to do a good half the time.
Selmara, thank you for that 12-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Zekrom, thank you for the 100 bits. Recently, I started watching Malcolm in the Middle on Hulu, the show with Bryan Cranston as the dad. And my God, show oozes that mean-spirited humor so good. I guess my question is, have you watched the show and what do you think about it?
Oh, that's one of my favorite shows. Oh my God, so good. Like any problems I have with it are more just like little nitpicks, little technical things. Like when they get rid of a character, maybe, and it's like an off-screen thing kind of thing, like just little things like that. But you can tell probably like a contract issue or something. But yeah, no, I absolutely love that show. We quote it all the time. It's a good example of a show where you're right, it is mean-spirited, but there is that legit love there, and you can tell the harshness comes from necessity of their situation, and not even like, well, this is the only way. No, it's not the only way, but it's the only way they can figure out. And I think they play that very, very strong and very, very funny.
Virtuous Sinner, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm excited to see the Lisa Frankenstein movie around this week. As a fan of romantic horror movies, The Fly being my favorite, it seems up my alley. What would you consider a good romantic horror movie?
Man. It's really
Is something
good.
like Little Shop?
I mean, that kind of counts.
think of-
But which cut, the original ending or the cinematic ending? Because those are very different movies.
Mhm.
I, I don't know why this. I'm not saying this is like the best one, but it's coming to my mind for some reason. Bride of Frankenstein. I love all that build up to them finally meeting at the end, and it's about as perfect and gothic a payoff as you can get. So I guess I'll say that. I'm not saying it's the most romantic moment by any means, but I don't know. It still felt right for a gothic story like that.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. My favorite movie from last year is now streaming on Prime. Hope you can find time to watch the amazing, the emotional, the devastating Iron Claw.
Yes, I do want to see that. I've heard more and more good things about it. I will try to check it out.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Red movies.
I never saw them. I know what you're talking about, but I've never checked them out. I doubt I'll do an NC because nobody's asked for them. I don't hear many people talk about them, but I'll try to check them out just to see them.
Dragon's Toy, thank you for the 500 bits. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Doug, how about a review and a first viewing needs to happen of John Landis's Burke and Hare? Too few people know of that gem of a movie, and it's a crime. A crime!
I've never heard of that film, and I like John Landis. I'll try to look it up.
Selmara, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug. Hey, Heather. What are your thoughts on the cast announcement for the MCU's Fantastic Four?
Sounds good. Again, a lot of them are not people I would say, oh, I imagine that person playing this character, but they're all such good actors. I mean, I'm sure they can bring, their own amazing style to them.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Music?
No, and I want to. I love that kind of garbage. I love when someone is trying to play like a special needs person to very clearly manipulate you into emotion, and it's done horribly. And I'm not saying that they're good or they should be, mocked or anything like that, or they should continue. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when it's done so bad, I love seeing it blow up in somebody's face. And it sounds like the movie did get blow up in their face, and I just love seeing it fail.
Stillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, I've been getting a bit of anxiety when talking about movies with friends and family members because of differing opinions. For example, how do I deal with people who dislike Inside Out or like Cat in the Hat?
Listen. Just listen to what they have to say. Ask why. Just keep asking. I mean, don't keep asking why over and over. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be annoying or anything. But I mean, like, just legit try to find out why they like it, why it brought them joy, or why it brought them, discomfort. And you can find out more about a person that way. I mean, that's always what I think is interesting about talking about movies or art or music or anything like that. You can find out why something really connects to somebody, and you can really, really find out more about them. And then you can share the connection you have or the differing opinion. And, it doesn't have to be an argument. It can just be a discussion. And like I said, you can really, really find out more about somebody that way.
Selmara, thank you for the 100 bits. I gotta ask, which movie was worse, Madam Web or Fan Four Stick?
So that's rough. In terms of what movie is made better, probably Fan Four Stick. But in terms of what would I rather watch again, Madam Web, hands down.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Coen Brothers film Inside Llewyn Davis? I honestly loved everything about it except for the frustrating character played by Carey Mulligan. I would still highly recommend it, though.
No, I heard it's good. I should probably check it out.
Sean49 Doctor, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, if you ever decide to do an NC for Strange Brew, you and Rob can do it as the Mackenzie brothers.
Yeah, I used to always see it at the video store, and for some reason I never saw it. Maybe because I didn't see the sketch that much. I doubt I'll do an NC of it because, again, I don't even know how many people remember those characters.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Who were some celebrities that you really liked before they got canceled?
I will say, clearly I don't stand by what she said, but the reboot of Roseanne I thought was wonderful. It is a shame she had to. I have a theory that I think she was difficult. I mean, she's famously difficult even before then because that was so quick and so instant. I think they were just looking for something. They were just like, "Here's our moment," kind of thing, because that was just so instantly fast. But what she said was still awful, clearly.
Right. Sometimes people aren't canceled. It's just the consequences of their actions. You know?
Yeah, I did hear on an interview later, she said she legit like didn't know that person was black, and stuff like that. I have no idea. I will say just it is a shame to lose that show because it was just so good. I tried the Connors and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't get into it at all.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. By the way, happy Valentine's Day. Also, I heard that Tolkien really hated Walt Disney and didn't want him to tarnish his works. After hearing that, I was like, George Lucas, you probably should have taken notes.
I mean, there's room for both. I mean, all of those, Star Wars, Disney, the Tolkien, all this. I mean, they all have their place. But you're right. It doesn't always mean they all mix either.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of Wilson from Home Improvement? I love how friendly and wise he is.
I love the one episode where he cracks, where somebody's just asking for advice. And he finally just goes, "What? No. I think he gave some advice. It was to Jill of all people. It wasn't even Tim." And she was like, "Well, that's not very helpful." And he's like, "Well, I'm only human. I mean, people come out here all the time asking me." So he just starts throwing stuff. And he gets really angry, and it's something you're kind of waiting to happen, and when it finally does, it's just so funny. And even that he turns like into a little lesson to learn from, like he almost taught himself a lesson. It was I'm with you. I really like that character.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. There's a few Disney movies I'm really looking forward to rewatching. Fox and the Hound, 101 Dalmatians, Winnie the Pooh.
Out of all those, I have a soft spot for Winnie the Pooh. I like the simplicity of that character. But the one that probably has, I was gonna say the best ending. Fox and the Hound might have the best ending, but like I really do like the ending of Winnie the Pooh too. Actually, it is a very potent, powerful ending in a weird way, in a very simple way.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. One must go. Pixels, Master of Disguise, 8 Crazy Nights.
Can I get rid of them all? Maybe Pixels, just for how bland and forgettable. And Master of Disguise is so bad. It's kind of fascinating. And 8 Crazy Nights has that great animation.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Law and Order SVU?
I've never got into a law show. They're just not my thing. So it can be spectacular, and I still don't think I would get into it. So yeah, I haven't seen that much.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. I saw your Kung Pao review, and I see you skipped the "here are my options" part. To me, that scene was pretty funny.
There's a lot of jokes I'm sure I missed in that movie. I just tried to get the ones that stood out the most to me.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. The better villain, Cruella de Vil or Maleficent?
Oh, Maleficent. I mean, Cruella's fun, but Maleficent is like legit evil, man. She turns into a fucking dragon.
You're kind of blurry, Doug. You got really blurry again. What are you doing, Doug?
What am I doing? What am I doing?
What's going on over there? Oh, you're good, I think, maybe? Oh.
Good?
You're better. That's sure.
I'm better. Okay, I'll stay here. I'll stay here.
Great. Good. You stay there, Doug. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Movie Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. You said you were surprised by how many voices Clancy Brown does. He was also the voice of the Earth King's evil second in command in Avatar.
It was one of those where it sounds funny because I always knew when I saw the face of this guy, because I've seen him in live action a couple times, I always knew that's Mr. Krabs whenever I would see him. But then I just really listened to his voice this time. I'm like, I know I've heard that in other places, like all over the place. And when I look back, I just completely, the deep, boomy, menacing voice, of Lex Luthor and stuff was also Mr. Krabs. Like, that's the connection I wasn't making. So, he's all over the place.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Nostalgia-ween for The Island of Dr. Moreau, starring Marlon Brando.
I have it on the list. I haven't seen it. I really want to, actually, because I do hear it's a fascinating disaster. So I do want to check it out.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. One song must go. All-Star, Hero, What I've Done.
Um, Probably All Star. I'm not a particular fan of it. Maybe I would have liked it okay if it wasn't played so much.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. I learned something interesting regarding Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. Apparently, for the Max segment, they were originally going to have Roxanne, but didn't because they couldn't animate her hair. That's it. No other reason.
I mean, it just says she got a haircut. I mean,
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. For another 100 bits, which celebrity had a cameo as a child kicking Elvis in the shins? A. Ron Howard. B. Rob Reiner. C. Kurt Russell.
did they say what it was in?
Nope.
Just in general.
Had a cameo as a child kicking Elvis in the shins.
I think, because it's funny, because I want to say I remember one of them talking about it in an interview. I think it's Ron Howard, but I'm not 100%.
You are incorrect. The correct answer was C, Kurt Russell. Thank you for clarifying that I could tell him, Haunted Joker. I knew you gave me the answer to the other one, but I didn't want to necessarily ruin something if you were like, why did you tell him the answer? So thank you. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I watched Apocalypse Now for the first time last night. Most of it I thought was fantastic, including the majority of Brando's scenes. However, I thought it should have ended about 5 minutes sooner, and I'm curious if that's a common opinion. It just didn't seem like much was needed to be shown after Brando's final line. Do you agree?
I think him going off and saying the line as well, and everyone kind of looking at him almost like kind of he's taken that on now. I didn't mind that. Especially if you know the book, that does carry over a little bit with that. I mean, it goes even further after that in the book, but yeah, I thought that was okay.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you know that some of the Has-Been Hotel characters are from Visipop comic book from 2012 called Zoophobia?
No, I did not know that.
Hunter Tech, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, I was just wondering if I could mail you one of my movie scripts that I wrote.
Oh, and not unless you have an agent. No, I can just tell you right now, I'm not going to have time to read it. This job keeps you very, very busy. I'm just not going to have time. Thank you, though.
Disney Knowledge, thank you for the 100 bits. What would you say is Charlie Chaplin's worst film? For me, it's either Monsieur Verdot or the one he wasn't even in, A Countess in Hong Kong.
You know, I've seen a lot of them. I can't say I've seen them all. And even the ones I've seen, like I remember images, I remember films, but in terms of like, I mean, I remember the titles and stuff. I remember like The Kid, obviously I remember like The Dictator and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't think my memory is good enough to judge what's absolutely his best, and definitely not what's his worst. I'm not a big enough buff on it.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite comedy show? For me, it's a tie between Malcolm in the Middle and My Name is Earl.
Man, that's rough. My favorite comedy show. Malcolm is pretty great. I guess Simpsons might be. When Simpsons was at its best, I really liked watching that. Rick and Morty is pretty great as well. I might go with Simpsons just because that's the one I probably go back to. It probably shapes so much of my sense of humor. So I think that would make the most sense.
Jamie Mods, W Streamers, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey everyone, I've actually been a fan since the beginning. Just wanted to thank you and your wonderful team for all the entertainment. My question is, what bad movie is your favorite? I know it's terrible, but Howard the Duck has always been my favorite bad movie.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for all that. The Room's pretty great. Sleepwalkers has some slow moments, but man, when it gets going, it's hilarious. I know there's other. I'm trying to think of ones where we were just like howling with laughter. I'd have to go back to some of the first viewings, but that's two pretty good ones right there.
Mazo Trinka, thank you for that 2-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Disney Knowledge, thank you.
Bubbles!
Ooh, sorry, I haven't heard that one in a while. I got surprised by an alert. Yeah, fucking bubbles.
Thank
Disney
you.
knowledge. Thank you for the 1,054 bits. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Question for Heather and Doug. Who was the worst teacher both of you had? For me, it was my third grade teacher named Mrs. Benke. She had it out for me, and when she pulled me out into the hall one day, I said, "You're evil," to her. She sent me to the principal, and when I told him what happened, he laughed.
And this is going to sound so strange because it's the easiest class, and I had a terrible acting teacher.
Oh, really?
Clearly. No, but yeah, she made. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but she made everything about drama, and I don't mean like find the drama in the play. Just everything about her was drama, and we were really butting heads and at odds with each other. I mean, I was probably a little dramatic brat too, but yeah, I don't know. We had a substitute acting teacher one day, and everyone liked him a lot more and thought he taught a lot better. And when she came in and found out we kind of liked him a bit more, she kind of punished us by doing a lot of physical exercises that weren't really that necessary. Maybe you do a few to get, sort of the tight stuff out. But yeah, just the whole day was that. We're all like, we know what she's doing.
I had a really terrible sixth grade teacher who she was just like a weird lady. Like, I don't think she was all there. You know what I mean? She was
yeah.
super obsessed with Elvis to like a scary degree. We all knew her obsession with Elvis, but like she was also a weird teacher. Like I was a weird kid in middle school, right? And her solution for when I was getting like really, really bullied was to be like, well, have you tried like liking normal things and buying cute clothes?
Wow, that's
I was 11. Good advice. Thanks.
11. Good Lord, Jesus. Have you tried not being yourself?
Yeah.
Because I don't like you. Like.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. I think the Coen brothers do both screwball comedy like Intolerable Cruelty and deeper films like A Serious Man really well. Agree?
They do the serious stuff better. I like it more when it feels a little bit more natural. Like there's one or two comedies that they do, like Raising Arizona. I think is very, very funny. But I think their comedy is much funnier when it comes kind of from the drama. I love when they're doing something serious and then just the comedy kind of very naturally flows out of it, like something like Fargo. But yeah, whenever they've really failed on something, it usually is a comedy. So, which isn't often, but when they have, I'm always like, yeah, it's when they're trying to be a little too zany. So yeah, it's just my personal take, but still a lot of great comedy and drama in their work.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Heard today that Christopher Walken was George Lucas's second choice to play Han Solo. Do a Han Solo scene in your best Walken.
She's fast enough for you. Oh, man. Rob could do it better. Actually, I think there was an SNL sketch where they did that because they did hear about that before. I think we used to do that too. Like when we found that out, of course, we did all the lines.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Henry, why can I never say this word? His name, Henry Winkler, the Fonz. I know who he is. I don't know why I stumble. Had a pretty humorous cameo on BoJack Horseman where he always introduced himself as the guy from that one episode of Law and Order SVU. Apparently, that's even how he signs his letters.
That's pretty funny. Sounds like he has a good sense of humor.
Yeah. Selmara, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of the Netflix Avatar series making Sokka less sexist? Obviously, it was kind of played as a joke in the original series, but how do you feel about them taking away the part of his character arc?
It's so funny because I saw that question coming up and I misread it. I misread it as less sexy. And I was like, huh? Was that what they were going for? It's like, oh, less sexist. Okay, so I get why someone would be like, hey, that's not cool, because he does legit have an arc with like the Kyoshi Warriors, and stuff like that. For me personally, I don't find that stuff that interesting, even though that prejudice exists and stuff like that, because you already know what the lesson's going to be. So it's just waiting for them to get to the lesson, especially when they get to the Water Kingdom. And there's another character there that has to be taught the exact same thing, where he won't teach women and Katara wants to learn and stuff. So for me, not only is it kind of teaching something we already know it's going to happen, but it's also teaching it again. So I I don't know. It's not a diehard, oh, I'm going to really miss that kind of thing. But I get what people are saying when they say, wasn't that kind of part of his identity? He grows and stuff like that. So it's a trope I find kind of boring. I get why it's in other things. To me, I already know the lessons. So it's like, unless they do a really cool spin on it, I'm usually not that interested. But it's not a major loss for me. I'm more interested in what they do with the rest of the character.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. 2 more hot takes and a lie. Dr. Sleep is better than The Shining. Beauty and the Beast should have won Best Picture over Silence of the Lambs. Cap should have died in Endgame instead of Tony Stark.
I'll say that Cap should have died in Endgame. That's the odd one out.
Hunter Tech, thank you for the 800 bits. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
First part, have you seen the movie Skipped Parts? It's worse than Milk Money, it with Drew Barrymore. I guess they have like 3 questions here, so we're going to have to boom, boom, boom it really fast.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that. No.
Second part, if you look at sorry, this is hard to read. If you look it up and go under Parents Guide on IMDb and go under Sex and Nudity, you will see how bad it is. Here, a lot of not for you to see how bad it is. Keep in mind the kid name is Sam. Third part,
okay.
I don't know how this movie can be made. It like OMG, just look at it. Sorry.
Okay, I'll try to it's fine. I just saw the little poster for it. It kind of looked like it had a Milk Money feel to it, pun intended. So yeah, I'll try to check that out.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the trailer for The Watchers? It's directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Okay, that is his daughter. Yeah, I saw that when I went to see Madam Web. They had a little trailer. It definitely looks like the Shyamalan style. Definitely the super long takes and kind of the quirky, odd characters all stuck into place and stuff. So yeah, we'll see. I hope it's good. Whether his stuff is good or bad, 9 out of 10 times it's entertaining. And at the very least, I hope his daughter, whether it's good or bad, can make it entertaining.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Cap should have died instead of Tony in Endgame was the lie.
Okay. All right.
You're
Not
good
too
at that
bad.
Disney
Not
Nerd's
too
hot
bad.
takes. All right, and we do have some time here for some highlighted questions.
Alrighty.
Ramirez says, the Flick Pick asked this question last night. I want to ask you the same. Outside of the comic book genre, movie over the last 10 years had an Sorry, let me try to reread this. Outside of the comic book genre, what movie over the last 10 years had an impact on you? Sonic the Hedgehog was that film for me because that was the last one I saw in the movie theater I worked at before it closed due to COVID.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Man, I'm trying to think. I don't know if this was the past 10 years. Where the Wild Things Are had a real big impact on me. I really like what a lot of that film did. Molly's Game had a really big impact on me. I'm trying to think of other not comic book related. I don't know. I'm sure there's other. Those are 2 that are really, really sticking out to me.
Cartoon Dictator asks, favorite Animaniacs?
Episode? I actually did do a top 11 list.
Well, they had, wait, sorry, I didn't read the whole thing. Favorite Animaniacs and 80s TMNT character. So I separated them out because it's I think those are 2 very different things, but.
Gotcha. Favorite anime? Slappy, definitely. And then what's the other one?
80s TMNT characters.
It used to be my favorite growing up, Michelangelo, because that was me. I was kind of the doofus that just wanted to be silly and have fun and wasn't always too bright and everything. And that kind of became Raphael because he was the smart aleck. He had the best lines. And then it became a mix of, it'd have to be Shredder and Krang together, like a married couple, because their comedy was just so great.
Well, and then they said, don't worry, Heather, it's short this time. And I just want to clarify, it's not about short. It's about asking multiple questions in one highlight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Who was your least favorite South Park character? For me, it's Pip.
Least favorite. I'm sure that. Oh no, I know who it is. Mr. Hanky. I never found Mr. Hanky that funny. The voice is annoying. I don't like looking at him. I don't think it's that funny a joke. Yeah, it just does nothing for me.
Master Mario asks, when you were little, what was the thing that annoyed you most about girls? And Heather, when you were little, what annoyed you most about boys?
Let me see. That's a good question. I like that. I'm trying to. Oh, I remember. So there was one time where, and this shows how girls really do mature faster than boys. So when I was like, I mean, maybe kindergarten or something like that. You know, all the boys got hung together, all the girls hung together and stuff. And all the girls in a big pile would go up to the boys, go, yeah, something like that. We go, yeah, we start running towards them, and all the girls went, teacher, they're coming after her, they're coming at. And they say, boys, don't do that, leave the girls alone. And then by the third or fourth time, the teachers put together what they did because they just kept doing it. And we're just like, but we kept falling for it. We were just like, well, we can't let them get away with that. We have to go get them. But then the teachers would stop. And finally, the teachers had to sit down with everybody. It's like, we noticed something going on here that y'all should probably stop. But yeah, that was, it was so funny. We couldn't figure out a workaround with that.
I would say my least favorite thing about boys when I was little is, I don't know how to express this a better way, but like basically that they would just gatekeep me and exclude me from all the things I just wanted to do with them. They would be like, I'd be like, oh, I want to come over. Like my brothers would be invited to like the neighbor's house to go over and like play Mortal Kombat. And I'd be like, I'll go play Mortal Kombat. My brothers would be like, I don't want to play Mortal Kombat. I'd be like, I'll go play Mortal Kombat. And they'd be like, no, Heather, it's for boys. Or like, I wanted to play on a street hockey team. And they were like, no, Heather, only boys can play street hockey. And I was like, I'll beat you up in street hockey. How about that? I just wanted to be one of the boys and they wouldn't let me. I couldn't do the cool things that the boys did. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah, that was like the one thing, like when I was a kid, and most of my friends were very much like, as long as it was like a quote unquote boy thing, like play Mortal Kombat, it's like, yeah, whoever wanted to play, girls, boys, whoever. And we did have girls that would play and stuff like that. The whole, well, you can't like, it's a girl thing wasn't a thing. But anytime a girl wanted to bring a girl thing, like, oh, boys magazine is right. No, fuck cooties on that shit. Get that the fuck away. That was the thing we had like a harsh prejudice on.
Hunter Tech, thank you for the 300 bits. Did you ever see the movie Radio Flyer?
No, I was confusing that for the movie Radio, which I've seen bits of, and that was enough. No, I remember it was advertised, and I think I heard good things about it, but I never saw it.
Matt Gamer says, hi, Doug. Just wishing you and Channel Awesome a happy Valentine's Day. Now, if you excuse me, I must fight some Kung Fu cows.
Go for it. No better way to spend the holiday.
Oliver Dreamwalker says, Doug, I know you see turn-based RPG as a little boring, but I see them like a game of chess. Maybe boring looking from the outside, but very intense when you are playing. Maybe one day we will see playing awesome games like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI. I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake has a few turn-based elements.
I will say, absolutely correct, that there is a lot of strategy to it. It's kind of like me and, not D&D, what the hell is it called? Role-playing games like in real life, stuff like D&D. There's great imagination and strategy, so many things to it, absolutely. It's just not my thing, so there's never a sense of like, oh, I can't do it because it's dumb. It's quite the opposite. It's very smart. It's probably too smart for me, honestly. That's one of the reasons I feel like I'm not very good. I'm not that good at chess either, but I'll beat your ass at Stratego or Othello. Those I'm good at.
Lord R. Wolfen says, hello, Heather and creepy bald guy. With the live-action series around the corner, which locations in Avatar would you love to see in live action? For me, I can't wait to see Umashu and the Northern Water Tribe once the first season comes out.
I agree. I'm a sucker for cold environments in movies. Anything that has a lot of snow and ice and stuff, I really like. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Power Gamer says, so I finally saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, and my thoughts could be summed up by Gandhi from Clone High. Wow, I need a minute to think about this.
Yeah, I liked it. And I saw it in parts too, because it is a pretty long movie, so I had to squeeze it in while just doing other stuff. And yeah, I'm like, I'll start off good. It's interesting, and then it just kind of got better and better, and it got more and more interesting. The characters got more interesting, and I really, really enjoyed that film.
Sean49 Doctor says NC for David Cronenberg's Scanners.
On YouTube, I don't think that'll work. They're very harsh on anything that's like kind of gory or kind of adult and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of very famous gory scenes in there, so probably not.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you ever play Yoshi Cookie? It's a puzzle game for the NES.
No, but I played Yoshi, and it's the only one of those games, like whatever, Tetris, Dr. Mario, where a piece is falling, you have to match something up, that I was legit good at. And of course, that's the one that went absolutely nowhere. No one even remembers the damn game. And like the few times I played it, the very few times it's anywhere, I pick it up and it's a versus game, and I always win, like, miles ahead of everyone. Just for laughs, I looked up to see if there's any Yoshi tournaments, because I'm like, of course there aren't, but I just have to know. And there are not, and I hate that. It's like one of those games. Everyone's so good at Tetris and Dr. Mario. This is the one I had, and nobody else had it.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Inside Llewyn Davis is a beautiful winter environment that is absolutely stunning to watch. On top of that, the acting and folk music are wonderful as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, most Coen Brothers stuff is pretty good. I'll try to check it out.
All right, cool. And I think that's where we're going to start wrapping things up here, because it's almost 8 o'clock. Thank you all, as usual, for joining us here today. We hope that you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day, even if you don't have anyone to celebrate it with. Celebrate it with yourself, but not. Don't go too hard, okay? No.
I just like you said the joke I was thinking. I just
Yep.
Yeah. There's really nothing else to say.
There's nothing else to say about that. Damn, Heather. I'm sorry. I know it's not normally like me. Anyway, we have content here 5 days a week. Come on back. Doug's just started Final Fantasy VII Remake on Friday night. So if you're interested in seeing more of Doug trying Final Fantasy, come back. We'll have a wonderful time. We're going to be here on Friday afternoon. I am like only about 75% sure Tamara's going to be on tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. But just keep an eye out on socials. Keep an eye out on here. And actually, speaking of, we're going to go raid Tamara right now. She's on her personal channel, so we're going to go over there and say hello. Yeah, have a great rest of your evening, and forget what I said before. Bye! See y'all later!
Bye-bye! Goodbye. Don't go too hard. Goodbye.